3, 2, 1, live.
Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Soul, been joined by Frank Smith. Frank, good fight week, Tyler Denny, Felix Cash, terrific undercard as well. How are we feeling anyway, mate?
Good, mate, just trying to avoid this rain that is inevitably going to come. Unfortunately, we are not in sunny Puerto Rico or Riyadh this week, we're in Birmingham, which, although will be a great night and great crowd, it hasn't got the sunshine. So we're just going to get rushed through all this and then we'll move on.
Absolutely. Look, before we come to Birmingham and the card that we've got put on, we need to talk about Puerto Rico. Subriel Matisse, a terrific fighter. I felt like he was an overwhelming favourite going into the Liam Paro fight, and I thought, I understand him being favourite, but Liam's definitely, he's more than a live dog in the fight, and he managed to cause an upset victory. Just talk to us about the trip and Liam Paro, what a performance.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, an unbelievable night in Puerto Rico, and somewhere we definitely go back to. Sold out arena, we had just under 10,000 in there on a Saturday night, and they really passionate as well. They were in there early. We had Yanquiel Riviera on the card as well, Stephanie Pinheiro as well, a load of local fighters. Angel Fierro fought on the card, one of our talent. He actually got beat, but a tremendous atmosphere in there. And like I say, they were in there from the first fight of the night all the way through. And somewhere we're definitely going to look at going back more often. We did it in just outside of the centre, but we'll look at San Juan next time. And there's definitely opportunities longer term as well with Matthias as well, because he's a big star out there. And it's a big market for boxing. And one thing as well, I know it was a clear result, but it was a very respectful audience as well. I think they accepted Liam Paro was a better man. There wasn't
no uproar.
Yeah, exactly. And but look, a tremendous night in Puerto Rico, a tremendous win from Liam Paro. A lot of people didn't give him a chance in that fight, but a lot of people who know boxing knew what he was bringing. Subriel Matias was like the bogeyman; no one wanted to go near him. And fair play to Liam Paro, because he took the chance that no one else wanted to, and he's gone in there and he's now world champion. It sets up some huge nights for him back in Australia.
Am I right in thinking that next in line for that title is Richardson Hitchens? Is he next in line? Is he mandatory?
He's next in line. I think Liam will have a voluntary first, but he'll after that. Richardson will be in a position to challenge for the title after that. So, we're working on what's next for Liam Paro, but he's in a great space right now. We've seen Australian boxing, how it's thrived over the years. We've seen what George Kambosos went on to do after winning the world title, or after, putting himself in that position. And I think we can recreate that for Liam Paro in the biggest possible nights.
100%. Look, moving away from that fight night, there was a lot of boxing on at the weekend. Gervonta Davis, a terrific stoppage victory against Frank Martin. I suppose from the outside looking in, as someone who's not maybe got any promotional ties to either fighter, is that one of them where you can just enjoy the highlights as a fan and go, wow, what a fighter?
Yeah, look, Gervonta Davis is a tremendous fighter, both inside and outside the ring. He draws a big audience. You've got to say he's in the top probably 3 US fighters right now, in terms of the audience he draws, and he gets huge. He's built up a huge fan base, and he entertains in the ring. It's all well and good being a personality, but if you don't entertain in the ring, it's tough to sell. But yeah, he's a great name in the sport, and yeah, it was. I didn't watch the fight because obviously we were at our show, caught up with a few highlights, but a great win from him. I think he knew Frank Martin would be a test and come in and give it his all, but Gervonta's shown time and time again he deserves to be at the top.
There's talks of him and Vasily Lomachenko coming toe to toe now. Vasily obviously against George Kambosos proved, look, I'm still here, I'm still about. Very dangerous fighter and tank. I think one of his coaches, I believe, Kenny Ellis, put on his Instagram, look, phase 1 for Vasily Lomachenko now happening, and it's like, what's a fight to go into? How do you see that fight? Break that down for us.
I think it's probably at the latter part of Vasily Lomachenko's career, in all honesty. I think Gervonta Davis is a real step ahead of, obviously, George Kambosos. I don't know whether it will happen. It's a massive fight if it does happen, but I'm not sure the reality of it. I know there's a lot of talk, as you say, but I think Gervonta's just at the best stage of his career right now, and I think maybe it would have been a different fight a few years ago.
Devin Haney, there's been a lot of talks around these purse bids for his next fight. He put a little tweet out about Matchroom, but I don't know how to take it. He just put Matchroom, nasty work kind of thing. Like, what do you make of that fight? Obviously, you've not got a promotional contract with him, but you had a good working relationship with him. What do you make of that? Obviously, not entering the bids.
It doesn't change the good relationship I think we've had in the past. Like, as in, there's no dislike or there at all. It's just if someone's not in a contract with you, then you're going to have less of a reason to bid for a fight. And it's a different type of fight. I think people have been very open. The Sandor Martin fight commercially isn't the draw of other fights. And a lot of the time, for 99% of fighters, it's about the fight as a whole. It's about the two fighters, not just about one individual name. Devin Haney's a tremendous star. He's done unbelievable things in the sport. But I think, it's a different case to actually having a fighter signed in a position to go into a purse bid when you've got obligations to a fighter. We've got a lot of obligations to various different fighters that we have to plan for over the next 6 months. It's not just a case of going, right, there's a purse bid here, let's just slot another $4 million in, because it's not just the cost that you see of that fight, it's everything else that goes with it. It's not a small sum of money amongst 100 odd fighters that we already promote as well. So there's a business behind it at the end of the day.
Comments that sort of surprised me, I think it was Pro Boxing Fans got an interview with James Toney, and this was the quote. He said about Anthony Joshua, please grow some balls and fight some real fighters. Daniel Dubois, whoever he is, easy win for him. Step up and fight somebody real. Now, I'm not going to question the great James Toney, but when you look at Anthony Joshua's resume, it suggests that he fights everyone. Are you surprised when you still hear these comments come from people regarding Anthony Joshua, what he's done for the sport, and the list of fighters he's been in with?
It's always going to be the way. Everyone's going to always have an opinion, and you just have to get on with it. But Daniel Dubois, I think, surprised a lot of people in that last fight. He looked very, very much improved in the fight against Filip Hrgovic, and I think if that fight was to happen, it's a great fight. And like you say, AJ's never shied away from any challenge. He wants to become undisputed again. He wants the biggest fights, and he'll be involved in the biggest fights. But I don't really, there's so many opinions in boxing every day across every different fight, so you kind of have to just take it with a pinch of salt.
Katie Taylor, obviously the fight with Amanda Serrano not happening next. Will the plan be to bring her maybe to Dublin, take care of a mandatory, so obviously she can stay active? Have you got any immediate plans for Katie?
I think it's difficult. I think, where Katie's at her career, I think she's going to wait and go straight into the Serrano fight in November. It's a different difficult time frame. I know Amanda's fighting, but I think, in the position Katie's in, she just wants the biggest fights right now. It's hard to get up for, when you've been in the position she's in the kind of fight she's been in, to go into a fight where you know what it is, which is ultimately just shaking the ring rust off. And it's hard for her to get up for it as well. So I think the plan really there is to go straight into November. Like I say, the time frame's very tight. If we were talking, if it was a week after it was announced and we were back in May, again, it's also the thing of slotting another, not cheap. These fighters, they're on substantial purses, and it's not just a case of going, right, add that fight on a show in July, it all has to make sense as well. But I think the best thing for her to do is to go straight into that fight. She'll take some time off now, make sure she's not, she's been in camp for a while, so take a bit of time off back at home, and then back in the gym in the US in probably August time, I guess.
100%. Look, I spoke to Ben Shalom yesterday in Barnsley. It was Callum Simpson's sort of launch party for his fight coming up at Oakwell. Spoke to him about potential fights. It's rumoured Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley could land on the huge September bill. I'm sure with everything going on in the background, you maybe can't confirm anything, but is that a fight, the type of ilk that you'd like to see on a big show for the big card at Wembley?
Let's see, there's big fights to be made. Big fights to be made in the sport. Obviously don't represent either of those guys, so I'm not too sure. It was a brilliant fight the first time round, and I'm sure people want to see it again, but there's a lot of brilliant fights to be made, so we'll see what happens.
Obviously, Ben's got a fighter in the main event in Tyler Denny. I think he said it's the first time, obviously, it's boxer sort of versus Matchroom in the main event. Says he'll be here this week if he gets let in. Obviously, you've said some things in the past, sort of back and forth. I know you don't take things too seriously. You say what you think, and there's no grudges held. It is what it is. And you always say, look, I can still do business with someone. Apparently, he is coming this week. So, is it, I don't want to say, is it awkward, or is there any tension? Go on.
I don't really, it's not awkward for me. My position remains the same. I still have the same view. But again, still, if we can do business together and make things happen, then fine. I will always remain with the same view, But I'm not the kind of person, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a liar. I don't talk shit behind his back like a lot of people and then come on the camera and go, what a great guy. My opinion. He knows my opinion. My opinion will not change. But I can still talk and go, hey mate, how are you? Yes, you're okay. Let's do X, Y. That's life. And the more people need to be like it.
want to ask you, your forfeit, has this been carried out yet for Warren?
No, I've been away. I was in, what happened? Where was I? I was back, got back from Saudi, then I went to Puerto Rico. We had meetings that week. I went to Puerto Rico, was there the whole week, got back on Monday, was in the office Monday. Yesterday was in London in meetings all day. Now I'm in Birmingham until Sunday, and then I fly to Phoenix. So I have asked, I promise you, I have asked Matt Lawless to see what day the full Queensbury team are in the office the week of Johnny Fisher fight week, and I will be there. So I'm not, by the way, my missus isn't too happy with me.
Why?
About dressing up in a maid's outfit. But might have to wear some long johns just to, I don't think I've got the legs for it, but I'm doing it. So as soon as I get this date sorted, I'm there.
Last one from me. Let's just talk about this card. We've obviously been through everything else. A cracking fights from top to bottom. Tyler Denny, Felix, what a fight. Crocker Walker, I think, is potential to steal the show. Just give us a little bit of a rundown on what you're looking forward to. Cameron Vong as well, terrific card.
Yeah, amazing fight. I'm excited to see Felix Cash back in the ring. You know, look, he's been inconsistent over the years. I think he's even spoken about it a lot himself, what he's been through. I think he's in a great place right now. He knows what he needs to do. This is the time to make it. You know, if he's going to do it, it's got to be now. And I think he's been focused for the longest period he's been focused for. He's, like I say, spoken about his troubles. Tyler Denny's got a massive following. I think it's going to be a great fight between the two of them, but I think Felix Cash will be too good. Connor Walker as well. That fight against Lewis Crocker, that's going to be a tear-up. All-out war. Connor Walker's shown what he's about in his last few fights, and we've seen Lewis Crocker as well and what he can do. So, there's a lot riding on it as well. There's a lot of talk about potential Paddy Donovan fight, but he can't be looking past Saturday night. It's a real fight and going to be some atmosphere in there for that one as well. I love the Emma Dolan against Shannon Ryan fight as well for the British title. That was obviously supposed to happen back in February. Great fight on the card. Cameron Vong, shame about Jordan Flynn. Wish Jordan Flynn all the best because I think he's going to be out for quite a while with the injury he's got. But he's got a tough test against Jeff Fori. Hamza Udin's back out, Ibrahim is back on the card as well. Stacked card top to bottom, and Muhammad Ali as well. So many fighters to get out and so many exciting talents, and it's going to be packed out in there as well on Saturday night, so buzzing for it.
Absolutely, it's going to be a terrific night, good atmosphere. Frank Smith, appreciate your time. Thanks for going over quite a few things there. Don't want to kick the camera in your face, and we'll catch up later on in the week.
Cheers mate, good to see you.